Because baking is therapeutic, mag-bake ulit tayo ngayon ng isang classic na favorite ng karamihan sa atin and one of the most requested recipes as well. This is mocha cupcake with stable mocha buttercream. Pwede ko po bang gawing cake? Pwede ko po bang gawing loaf? Sure, you know the answer. Kung saan ka happy. Okay, so let's start first with the ingredients. Very affordable and very accessible. So first, let's sift the dry ingredients. I have here all-purpose flour. You only need to sift this once. Pagsasama-samahin mo lang, cocoa powder, and this is coffee powder, instant coffee powder. I'm using decaf coffee powder. Why? Because 'di ba syempre, what if kakainin mo for midnight snack, baka naman hindi ka makatulog. Eh paano po yan, chef? Can I use regular coffee? Because kakainin ko po yan as midnight snack with my special someone, o diba? And I want to stay awake with, nabulol tuloy ako, with that special someone. Sure, pwedeng-pwede. Gusto mo, tapangan mo pa, o diba? And this is baking powder. You will notice I'm not putting salt because I'm going to use salted butter. Pero if you're using unsalted, kung unsalted lang ang meron ka sa iyong ref, then lagyan mo ng konting salt. Just a pinch, because remember, salt is very important in baking. It's a flavor enhancer and binder. And this is chocolate chips, which is also optional. Kung ayaw mong lagyan ng chocolate chips, pwede mong wag lagyan. No problem. So my dry ingredients are ready. Next, let's move to my mixer. I have here butter, the salted butter, and sugar. I'm going to beat the butter and the sugar until light and fluffy. Wala po akong stand mixer, chef. Hand mixer po meron. You can use hand mixer. Eh paano po yan? Kahit po hand mixer, wala po ako. You can mix it manually. Basta remember, it's very important that the ingredients are at room temperature, no? Kung magma-manual mixing ka, para hindi ka mahirapan maghalo. So let's mix this. But the eggs, by the way, I'm using cool eggs. Galing sa loob ng ref yung itlog. So you want to beat the butter and the sugar until light and fluffy. This would take around 5 minutes if you're using a mixer like this. If you're using a hand mixer, medyo mas matagal-tagal. Kailangan mo lang ng konting pasensya at paghihintay, no? So, nagpapasok tayo ng hangin dito so that the mixture will become fluffy. Pag umalsa yan, this will help give your cupcake a very nice fluffy texture. So, balikan natin. So, ayan, napapansin mo, umaalsa na yung butter and sugar mixture. So, the reason why I'm using cool eggs, malamig na itlog yung ginagamit ko, because sometimes, especially kapag mainit ang panahon, you will notice mabilis bumabagsak to. Nalulusaw yung butter, so nawawala yung volume ng iyong butter and sugar mixture. So, by using cool eggs, na-maintain niya yung cool temperature para hindi maghiwalay yung fats dun sa asukal. Para smooth pa rin yung mixture mo and fluffy. So, I'm going to put the eggs one at a time. Pag nawala, tsaka mo ilagay yung second egg. O, diba? Very simple lang ang secret para hindi maghiwalay ang asukal at ang butter. Kailangan cool ka lang para hindi basta-bastang naghihiwalay, di ba? And use cool eggs when creaming the butter and sugar. So now that it's already smooth, the first egg, I'm going to put the second egg. Pagkalagay mo niyan, yan, smooth. Ilalagay mo na yung dry ingredients mo alternately with the cream. I have here all-purpose cream. So, dry ingredients, kailangan alternate to make sure na talagang well-mixed and yung kanyang absorption ng wet ingredients mo is also pantay na pantay para you are avoiding lumps. Okay? So mix it at low speed para hindi tumalsik, and then you pour in your wet ingredients, the all-purpose cream. You can also use heavy cream, you can use thickened cream, kung anong cream ang available dyan sa lugar mo. And then ibuhos mo yung remaining dry ingredients. Okay, so very simple. Pag naging smooth na yan, wala ka nang nakikitang flour, nilakasan ko ng konti yung mixer, pwede mo nang patayin yung mixer mo. So, as you can see, it's now smooth. Konting harina na lang. I just scrape this. Very important that you scrape because there are areas in the mixing bowl na hindi talaga nahahagip ng iyong attachment. So, make sure na nagsascrape ka. So, mix it again. And then, one of my secrets when making heavy cakes like this, pagtapos na ako maghalo, ilalagay ko yung mixer sa pinakamalakas na speed and I'm going to beat it for 5 to 10 seconds. Ganun lang. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Turn off the mixer. Ginagawa mo yan to make sure na talagang refined yung mixture mo. Walang lumps, walang malalaking air bubbles. So your cupcakes, very smooth and consistent yung mixture. So now, i-scrape ko yan ng isa pang beses using my spatula, may rubber scraper, and then bago ko ilagay sa ating prepared cupcake pans. So you keep scraping the sides of the mixing bowl because again, may mga sides, may mga areas na hindi nahahagip ng mixer attachment. So pag smooth na yan, this is the only time that you can divide this. Pwede mo nang ilagay sa iyong pans. So I have here cupcake pans na nilagyan ko ng cupcake liner. One recipe will give you approximately 14 3 ounces cupcake. So I'm also using a 3-ounce ice cream scooper, no? So scoop mo lang, mapapansin mo because 14 nga yung magagawa niya and bihira ka naman makakahanap ng cupcake pans na ganito na 14 because normally it's 12. So what I did, kinalat ko yung liners between two sets of cupcake pan para even yung init, yung distribution ng init. So you just divide it. So, eto na. Iniscoop ko na yung ating cupcake batter into the pans and then I'm going to bake it in a preheated 350 degrees Fahrenheit oven for approximately 25 to 28 minutes or until the top exterior, pag pinindot mo or kung natatakot kang hawakan, get a chopstick, ilagay mo sa ibabaw, almost firm, ready na yon. And yan ang babalikan natin next. So, eto na yung cupcakes and as usual, you have to let it cool down on a cooling rack so that the cool and hot air can circulate para hindi, hindi na naman siya masyado mainit. Para hindi magpapawis yung ilalim ng cupcake mo. So, while it's cooling thoroughly, I'm going to prepare the mocha buttercream. Very easy. So I have here all-purpose cream, room temperature. You can also use heavy cream or thickened cream. This is butter at room temperature. And this is powdered sugar, coffee powder. Ba't po hindi na naglalagay ng cocoa powder dun sa buttercream? Because ayaw ko na masyadong umiitim yung mocha buttercream. Pero kung gusto mong lagyan ng cocoa powder, no problem. You can put 1 tablespoon. So, ilagay mo lang sa mixer mo yan with a wire whisk attachment. You can always use a hand mixer, no problem. And then you beat it until smooth. Put it on high speed. Pinakamalakas na speed. Teka, may dumikit lang sa gilid. Ibaba natin yan. Yan. So, pinakamalakas na speed. Eh, chef, hindi naman po buttercream yan. Ba't po ganyan? Parang tubig. Ganyan po talaga. May mga bagay na sa simula, hindi mo pa agad nakikita yung kanyang full potential. So, you have to be patient. Okay? So, just mix it. Makikita mo, magiging smooth yan. Okay? Because this technique, ang ginagawa natin is emulsification. Ibig sabihin, iba't ibang klaseng ingredients, you want to bind it into one smooth mixture. So, magagawa mo lang yan through mixing it thoroughly. And kailangan maghihintay ka talaga. O katulad nito, Chef, itatapon ko na po ba yan? Kasi naghiwalay na po, nalulungkot po ako, naiiyak na po ako. Kasi sino ba naman ang hindi maiiyak pagka nagkaroon ng hiwalayan, di ba? Pero don't worry, maghintay ka lang, magtiyaga ka lang, and if you do the right thing, magbabalik ulit yan together. So look, just keep on mixing it. Tingnan mo ha. Nag-curdle na yan, so naghiwalay na. But if you keep on beating it, magsasama ulit sila together. So, hintayin mo lang. Diba? Eh, bakit po ba nag-curdle, chef? Bakit po naghihiwalay? Because we are dealing with ingredients that are high in fat. The butter is high in fat. The cream is also high in fat. So, normal lang, hindi sila compatible masyado, magse-separate talaga sila. But with constant beating, magsasama din sila ulit. Ganun po ang paggawa ng buttercream. So, kailangan, alam mo, para hindi ka nalulungkot pag nakita mong nag-curdle or nag-separate. Because alam mo din, nababalik din sila together. O, ayan na, nakita mo, ang bilis, oh. Nagmi-mix na ulit sila and magiging smooth na yan. So, pag naging smooth na, you just keep on beating it until it becomes a light and fluffy buttercream. Okay? O, ang haba ng explanation ko. Kasi marami sa inyo, makita pa lang yon natatakot na. So, just keep on going. No? O, ayan, look. Tingnan mo na ngayon. O, diba? How smooth it is. Kanina lang naghiwalay. O, tapos ngayon, makikita mo, smooth na. Pero kulang pa sa halo to. You want to beat it longer until maging fluffy. So, pag pinipe natin sa ibabaw ng ating cupcakes, mas maganda siyang tignan and mas maganda din yung kanyang texture. So, we keep on beating this. O, yan. So, you just keep on beating it until it becomes fluffy. So, I guess this is good enough for a buttercream. So, kailangan hindi na siya ganun ka-stiff. See? How nice and smooth it is. And of course, it's very stable. Siyempre, wag mo lang ibibilad sa araw. Any icing naman na itatapat mo sa araw, talagang matutunaw po yan. No? So, you just put it onto your piping bag. Then, type mo lang sa ibabaw ng cupcake mo. So, you can do rosettes. See how nice? Diba? Pwede kang gumawa ng mga stars. Isa pa. Diba? Pwede din namang isang ganyan lang. O kung beginner ka pa lang, beginner lang po ako. Takot pa po akong iikot yung kamay ko while piping. O, you can just do something like that. See? Pinipindot mo lang. You're just giving it pressure. Diba? So, kung ano man decoration ang ilalagay mo dyan, ang mahalaga is sigurado tayong masarap yung cupcake mo. And just to let your customers know na may mga chocolate chips dun sa loob, you can put some chocolate chips on top. O, diba? Very simple. Eh, paano po yan? Gusto lang po nila is coffee or mocha muffin. Eh, di wag mo na lagyan ng icing. 'Di ba? Pero ako, gusto ko may icing. May icing ang cupcake and may icing ang life. And tikman natin. The cupcake is very moist. Lasang-lasa ko yung kape. So siguradong gising na gising ako because I want to stay awake with you. Char! So gumawa ka na ng cupcake, mocha cupcake, turn it into a cake, or kung anong shape man ang gusto mo. Enjoy and happy baking!